Hello everybody, this is Frank, your all-knowing gamer, coming at you with another audio commentary, this time again of League of Legends. Today, I'm basically taking a page out of Dan Din's book, and as you can see on the bottom here, I'm going to be playing Soraka. On my team, we've got Akarma, who is commonly known as a support slash kind of AP role. As well, we've got Alistar, this is also my buddy here. So these two players here, the Karma and the Alistar, are both my buddies, and this Soraka is going to be me. Also with us, we have a Pantheon and a Sona. Pantheon didn't want to play, basically didn't want to play our game with us, and he decided to go with Pantheon rather than another support character. On the enemy team, we have Nocturne in the jungle, Garen, Renekton, Maokai, and Caitlyn. And of course, we're going to get some, we actually don't have Clairvoyance, whereas their support in Maokai, which is kind of strange, actually does have Clairvoyance, so that's going to be definitely beneficial to them, not to mention they have a Nocturne in the jungle, which is also going to be beneficial to them. But we're going to see how things turn out. Basically, Dan Din, if you watched the game from earlier, and if you haven't, then you probably should go back and watch that, because this is going to look a little silly otherwise, but Dan Din basically did the exact same thing, except for he was Taric. I think Taric this game got banned because we were playing normal draft mode. This was played on the weekend where there was no ranked, so we basically just went into it and we had a normal draft mode going. So yeah, you can see here this this character who is just absolutely random decided to play our game and went along with it, and it has the summoner spell heal. We've got my buddy Alistar with the summoner spell Clarity, but he also takes Clarity on basically any champion that has mana, and that's why his ELO is 900, so we're not going to talk about that anymore, but I love you, Tim, and that's all I have to say about that. I don't know why this is taking so long to start up, but regardless, let's go into the fundamentals of what this is going to look like for the enemy team. They actually do have a little bit of a funky kind of thing going on here because they don't really have a mid character. They do have the jungle, of course, but they don't really have a mid character. I think they're going to end up sticking Renekton in there. I'm not exactly sure. This was played a little bit ago. I'm not sure exactly where he went. But yeah, Garen is typically going to go top. Maokai, of course, he's got the Clairvoyance, which would you'd have to assume that he's going to be going down bottom with Caitlyn. And if they switch things around, then so be it. Maokai doesn't have a heal, so I think he'd be okay to go with the Renekton as well, who together they'd be outputting quite a bit of burst as well as CC. So yeah, still in the loading screen. I'm not exactly sure. I think she's playing on like an Etch-a-Sketch or something like that. Not loading fully either way. There we go, finally into the game. So yeah, basically what's going to happen here is we're going to have, I think, yeah, the Pantheon's going to be forced to go mid. Alistar and Sona are going to go top, and me and my buddy in Karma are going to go bottom, so Soraka, Karma, bottom. And actually, hold on. Bless me. Basically, for those of you who don't know, Karma, Soraka, bottom is just absolutely unstoppable. You don't see it very typically, especially in the pro level games, because you're not going to have that kind of lane composition. You're going to have an AD and a support. Soraka or Karma are going to be with some kind of AD carry, if they even get those characters. So, but it is very strong. They're going to be able to heal each other up. Soraka's going to keep them both energized with her this one, Infuse, and basically they're going to be constantly pushing, adding the pressure on. And as you can see here, we have no CV, but we're going to be entering the enemy jungle regardless. I'm going to be leading the way here. We're going to have to wait up on Sona, I think. We're just going to be or we're just going to go ahead and go with the Alistar leading the way. Sona's going to be trailing along behind, but we're going to go in here, and hopefully we're going to catch somebody, and we do actually. We catch two of them there, and I'm going to be able to burst down that Garen. It looks like Karma is going to be chasing. Karma and Pantheon are going to be chasing after that. I'm going to get the exhaust off on the Nocturne, and Nocturne, it looks like it's going to go down here. Pantheon, though, is going to pick up first blood on the Garen there, so 2 kills going down there to start. And because we have no jungler, we've got basically what I've coined as jungle envy. Basically, if you don't have a jungler, you're going to be forced to invade the enemy jungler, regardless if you have a strong level 1 teamfight or not. Because you don't have smite, you've basically got an extra summoner spell that you're going to be able to use, which is going to benefit you in a team fight, and it's basically just going to be better off for you. Although, considering the Alistar has Clarity, that really puts us in a bad position regardless. So with 2 kills going down there, and I did get one of them, so I'm going to be able to pick up the boots along with the Doran's Blade there. And blue buff is going to go to the Alistar, who of course has Clarity and a Fairy Charm, because, you know, he has brutal mana problems. But I'm going to go ahead and pick fun at him for the rest of the game. So there he goes up to top lane, and yes, it is going to be Garen at top. It looks like Karma is going to come down bottom with me, and Sona's, of course, going to have to move up to the top lane there. I'm going to head back down to head down to the bottom lane to start things up there. Pantheon, it looks like, is going to be taking on this... going to be taking on the Caitlyn, and as I did actually call this, and I'm not going to lie, I did completely forget who was going to be playing bottom lane there, but it is going to be Renekton and Maokai, who, like I said, are going to be able to put out a lot of bursts, and you can see they're already hitting level 2 before we even step into the lane, although this creep wave is it's okay, it's an okay size. I think we've lost out on probably, like, what is that, 1, 2, 3, like 3 or 5 or something like that creeps, something along that line there. But either way, I'm going to be coming down here CSing with my Star Call. And for those of you who don't know as well, actually the Soraka Star Call got buffed a huge, like, ridiculous amount. Because after the nerfs happened, all that heal, and that was a while ago. I think that was in the Riven patch. I think there was a patch yesterday as well, but that was in the Riven patch regardless. So basically, what the advantage is going to be for us, I did get my Infuse next because that's just going to allow me to output a little bit of extra damage there. As you can see there, Star Calling even more, getting him down to just above 3/4 health there. I know that's nothing special, but considering the fact that I'm going to have basically unlimited mana and unlimited health between the two of us, that's definitely a very strong advantage for us to get them down as much as possible. There we go with the blind and auto attack into Star Call, or sorry, Infuse and what have you. It looks like Maokai's just going to be content just staying in that bush and throwing out those saplings. Don't think that's going to be necessarily in his best interest, because after a while we're going to get so strong and our heals are going to be pretty high up there as well. It looks like Alistar and Sona are going to be able to heal each other back up as well, so that's 4 heals on our team, and you can only assume that at some point Pantheon's going to get some kind of lifesteal. So basically the heals are going to be ridiculous this game, and you can see there a lot of damage actually coming out on the Renekton, going down below half health, and we're going to start the chase here. I'm going to continue to Star Call here. It doesn't slow me down at all. I'm going to get the exhaust off on the Renekton, and it looks like Renekton is going to go down to a Star Call of my own. So, and it looks like actually Maokai might go down there too. No, being forced to flash away there. So now I am at 2 kills, 1 assist, and our whole team is now at 3-0. So we're doing a pretty effective job there. And we're actually going to be able to stay in lane here. Neither of us are going to be forced back, and Nocturne is going to have to come down and defend this. As you can see here, he is double buff, so most likely the Karma and myself are going to be looking to hopefully pick him off as well. Although with his spell shield, it's going to be really a really good thing for him. You can see there spell shielding actually that wave that Karma put out there. And it actually looks like even our mid is doing exceptionally well, getting that kill off there. And just going to take a look at the CS here. We've got 18 on the Pantheon comparatively to the 20 on the Caitlyn. So keeping things pretty well at par, especially for a melee champion against not only a ranged AD, but Caitlyn, who is, basically the ranged AD for right now. Just a super strong ranged AD, and really unfortunate that for them that she's not at bottom, because she could at least be putting out some kind of harassment onto one of us, which would force at least a lot of heals and potentially, at least drain some of our mana. I know that I said I get unlimited mana, but that's not necessarily the case. I get basically as much as this cooldown will allow me, although I am going to be Star Calling quite a bit. So this is going to allow me to have 25 mana. Sorry, I was just reading both sides there. It's going to allow me to have 25 mana, whereas each Star Call, which is on a 2-second cooldown, is 40. So you can see there that it's actually not exactly an ideal situation, but it is quite a bit regardless. Going to take a look at even more of the CS. I want to see the top lane there. You've got 15 on Alistar, 10 on the Sona, which isn't that great, but you've got 9 on Garen, so that is pretty damn good. Down at bottom lane, we've actually got Renekton sitting on 11. We've got Maokai on 5, so collectively 16 comparatively to my 14, and the Karma's 15. So basically all lanes are pretty well crushing what they need to do here. I have a feeling, though, that Caitlyn's going to step it up pretty hard. She's now on 25. 28, though, 29 actually coming out of the Pantheon. So I do feel, though, in the near future she'll probably be stepping it up. Like I said, I don't remember all the aspects of this game. I just know that we had a lot of fun with it, and we were pretty effective with it as well, actually. And it looks like Nocturne getting spotted out there. I don't know if anybody's going to do anything about that, but he was spotted right here, and you can even still see there his Q there leaving behind some residue. So possibly going to take advantage of that, but not necessarily. You can see there he actually had red buff, which I assume is ours. Not a lot of action going on right now. I'm going to speed things along here. It looks like actually Pantheon going in for a kill there, actually, so a little bit of action going on. And you can see there that Garen's just getting completely zoned out. I want to take a look at what his level is. Level 6 comparatively to 2 level 5s, so you can tell that he's actually having a hard time staying at the level that he needs to be, down to just over half health there as well. So I'm going to go ahead and speed things up here. Going to keep my eye on this bottom lane here because I think that a double kill is certainly more exciting to watch than a single kill, which is the only potential for our team in either of the lanes there, unless Nocturne, of course, steps in. But I don't think that's going to be the case. Yeah, I'm going to just kind of have to speed things along here. Not a lot going on for the time being. The health bars are coming back up, which is a nice thing. We are constantly pushing this lane down here. Actually, I do specifically remember that this part in the game, there was a little bit of lull in our lane here. And top lane, though, it looks like some action going on there. Garen trying to come in there with the spin and win, and not going to actually be as effective as he would like, especially considering they're able to just heal themselves back up. I think this might be especially frustrating for Nocturne as well. He's not going to be able to gank anywhere, and if he tries to gank somewhere, he's most likely not going to be very effective, considering how many heals are going to go off, not to mention the CC that we can output on both sides of the field here. We've got a little bit of a freeze there. Nocturne is going to jump on somebody, though. I don't know where it's going to happen, though. It looks like top lane, and Sona is going to go down here. I have to assume there's the flash coming out of Alistar, and Alistar actually goes down there as well, so a double kill going on top for the enemy team there, and it actually looks like a really nice situation there. However, bottom lane here looks like it's going to get picked off there as well. Maokai does go down to the ignite of the Karma there. I'm going to be looping around to the backside here, trying to pick up this kill on the Renekton. Whether I'm going to be able to accomplish that or not, that's another story. And it looks like he is going to be healing up off that health potion as well as the regrowth pendant. He's going to be jumping all over me here. I've got the exhaust up. It looks like I'm going to have to ultimate myself to get away there, but we did force Renekton to pop his ultimate there as well. So I think it's a pretty fair trade, not to mention we're going to be able to push in on this tower here. Garen and Nocturne at top, though, they do take that out as well, and we're actually not doing as much damage as we could be to the enemy tower there. Our tower is basically at full health. I think it's got 7 HP taken away there, but nothing too substantial. We are just going to be waiting in this bush here, hoping that Renekton does step out, and I think now is about a good time that we should start considering just pushing that wave down. We're waiting for him to step out even longer, but I don't think it's going to happen yet. I'm just going to come out here and start, I think, star calling everything, because I think it's just really frustrating to try to auto-attack. Actually, it looks like a lot of damage coming out from the Karma onto the Renekton, but nothing really substantial is going to happen there. I think that was actually my fault, yeah, and I'm having an extremely frustrating time trying to auto-attack CS those minions down. It actually looks like some more damage coming off on the triple Doran Blade boots Caitlyn there. We do have a Brutalizer as well as Berserker Greaves on the Pantheon there, so not too shabby. Taking a look back at the CS here, we've got 61 on the Pantheon as 43 on the Caitlyn, so definitely doing an exceptional job there. It looks like a nice ultimate there coming out. More CC coming out onto the Garen, and it looks like with a nice auto attack there, Sona is going to pick up this kill. This is probably the least damage you can have from any combination of characters in a lane there, with the Sona freaking Alistar combination. We are just going to start pushing this lane down here, trying to do as much damage as you can, as well as basically force a difficult situation to CS in for the enemy team. And I do want to do some comparative CSing there to what they've got going on there. And really interesting, really nice shielding there coming out from my Karma here. And with my, unfortunately with my Infuse on cooldown, I'm not going to be able to do much there. Looks like top tower does go down there for my team as well, so we basically even things up there. 8-2 now, so we're just doing a ridiculous job here. And actually, I do want to point out that a lot of times that sometimes when I play with specific people, it's a little bit frustrating because basically we'll get matched up with either bad players or it's basically just not doing ranked, you know what I mean? Like they don't know necessarily where their roles are supposed to be, and it just gets really frustrating to play. And coming into this game, we just came off of, I think, a 2-loss streak, so we were not having a really good time. It was normal draft pick. We should have been dominating it, but basically we weren't. So coming into this game, I figured we might as well relax, just have some fun, do a troll build, and that's exactly what we did, and just ridiculous things came from it. And I basically stopped playing. Like, I had a lot of time at the end of this game, and we basically just had to stop playing because I couldn't stop questioning how things happen like that. It looks like Nocturne's actually going to come in here and jump all over me. I've still got my ultimate up, but I'm deciding not to use it. I'm not sure why. There's the ultimate finally getting used there, and unfortunately, I do get picked off there, but not before the Maokai goes down, and it looks like Alistar's going to be pushing things around here. And is Nocturne going to go down here? It looks like no, he's going to get the fear off on the Alistar. Alistar being sent back here, and I don't think he's actually popped his ultimate. He shouldn't have popped his ultimate at this time, but he definitely should have afterwards, and just chase him through that turret damage and tried to pick up that kill. It looks like, though, you can see how Sona and Alistar coming down to bottom lane here is definitely the best thing that they could be doing, but it looks like Garen followed them down there, and he's going to be spinning all over this Sona. I don't know if she's going to be able to get away from this. No, with the ultimate coming out of Garen, she is going to go down there, but with the Renekton as well going to go down, and Garen's still alive here, getting the silence onto the Karma, spinning all over Karma as well, and picking up that kill. So it looks like a 3-for-2 trade there, going back to, of course, where Maokai went down as well. It looks like Garen's going to get the silence off on the Alistar, as well as a little bit of extra damage there. Alistar rolling with the Philosopher's Stone, turning that Fairy Charm into a Philosopher's Stone, so he's going to be generating that gold. Going for basically a support build as well. I don't know if anybody else is getting the Philosopher's Stone on my team. No, it looks like actually a Spellblade coming off from the Sona, so you can tell she's really into this troll thing. And it looks like actually Maokai and the Nocturne stepped down here, and actually without a ward, somehow Alistar just knew to go away, step back into the comfort of the turret there. Looks like I am just going to be going top here and just CSing what I can. You can see the Star Call there doing 207 damage. It was 190 the first time around, and then with the Magic Resist Shred, it went up to 207, so you can see how much damage that does, especially on a 2-second cool, or now it's a 1.75 second cooldown, so just ridiculous how much damage it's going to be able to output. Looks like this Pantheon's going to get caught up a little bit, but he is going to be able to flash away there and be absolutely fine. Maokai was looking for the, what is that called? The Twisted Advance or Entangled Advance or something like that, basically where he roots them in place, but not able to pull that one off. I did push down that lane, of course, to a point where my side of things would be winning, so it would force the enemy team to at least send one player up there, and now I'm going to join in for a team fight, preferably around Dragon so that we can pick it up after a while. And it looks like actually Nocturne going in here after the Karma, but Karma with a shield, as well as the heal from Sona and herself, able to jump in there, and it looks like actually Karma is going to go down to the Nocturne. Pantheon's going to jump in there with the Nocturne ultimate, though I wasn't able to see anything that was going on there. It looks like I'm going to jump in here as well, start shredding that armor, getting the Star Call off in the bush, able to pick up that kill there on the Garen, as well as Renekton going down there to the Sona. So now we have 4 players who are up. 3 of them are healers. I'm able to infuse the, now it looks like I'm going to have to infuse the Alistar or the Sona with basically whatever I can so that we can continue this push here. And it looks like, yeah, we did get the 2-for-1 there, the Renekton and the Garen, who are actually the 2 tankiest characters on their team. So really strange exchange there, how we were able to pick those 2 up and not anybody else. But it looks like actually Alistar coming in here with a pop-up, but with not enough mana to do anything else. I don't know if he's actually too low to... No, he shouldn't be too low to pop his ultimate there. It looks like actually a lot of tower shots going off here onto our team here. Alistar coming in, of course, with a headbutt because he loves to burn his mana, hence all the mana-getting items. Tim, you got to learn your lesson here. So yeah, that basically is the situation, and we've got now 4 healers in lane here. We're going to continue this push, and I think one of the major advantages, and this seems absolutely silly to be analyzing this, but one of the major advantages of having 4 supports on your team is basically the ability to continue pushing here, and you can tell after that one team fight, they've got 2 fully healed and fully shopped champions now back up, and we've basically got the same thing we had a while ago, and that's next to nothing here. So I'm going to be infusing, picking my way back up there, and it looks like now I'm up to 75 mana per infuse. That's great. Pantheon's getting picked off there at top, although I think he did a pretty effective job of defending that tower. I think his life was definitely not in vain there. Alistar going to be trying to jump in here with his ultimate, trying to do what he can, taking some tower shots. I do get a kill there on the on the Caitlyn there. The tower goes down in the background, and I'm going to continue to Starfall this, and with the shield going off onto me, who was standing next to them. That was actually a pretty sick kill there coming out of the Karma. So now we've got 3 champions on the enemy team who are down. We've got a Pantheon who's down, who I think will have a pretty easy time coming back in here and jumping back into the fray here. We've got 17 minutes on the clock now. The ultimate coming out from Sona. Garen doing a nice job of spinning all over us, but again, with 4 healers here, and my buddy, of course, taking way too many tower hits. Tim, sometimes you just got to learn, man. It looks like he's unfortunately going to be pushed to the background there. His passive now kicking in, so Karma's going to do the right thing and chase him down. Try to at least get an auto attack off to stop his passive from taking, at least reset it to that next 7 seconds. Taking a look at the levels here, we've got 104 again comparatively to the 68 on Caitlyn on CS, and it looks like we're just going to go ahead and pick that up. And I honestly don't think that we're afraid to engage in any of these team fights. Garen's going to be chasing us down here. He's at about 1/3 of his health, though. I don't think he's going to be able to do anything there. We've got a pretty sizable creep wave pushing in here onto this tower here, and Pantheon is going to be pushing in here. He's going to be able to jump in if he needs to, but I think he should stay here and pick off this tower. While he can. We've got a little bit of a freeze. Just want to get back into the action here. I can only assume that somebody's died over there. It looks like, no, just the turret goes down there. No deaths actually taking place in that small engagement while the screen was frozen. And it looks like, actually, though, Garen getting picked off by the Pantheon. Pantheon outputting a ton of damage. I have to assume, yeah, he does have the Bloodthirsters. Now, like I said, he was going to pick up some Life Steal, and apparently it's in the form of a Bloodthirsters. And we're going to continue this push down here at bottom. We've actually got 3 supports, and I have to assume that Pantheon's about to get killed here. Yep, he's going to get jumped all over by 3 champions here, one of them being a Nocturne with a Guardian Angel. So it looks like actually now getting the fear off on the Sona, who actually lucks out and gets fear towards the tower, but unfortunately that's not enough. Alistar's going to stay bottom lane with just a small amount of mana, but still able to do a lot of damage to that tower, and we're going to have to come back, unfortunately, and defend this. And it actually looks like the Karma's going to get picked off there. I'm going to be forced to heal myself and flash away from this, but I do believe that, yeah, he is going to pick me off there. So unfortunately, a little bit of sloppiness coming out. As you can see, 4 deaths, but even with that 4 deaths, there's still one full ace behind us, although they're going to pick this up here. So that is actually that full ace I was talking about, but they're going to need another full ace to actually take the lead here. I don't know whether they're going to take this opportunity to take Baron. I think that they probably should, or at the very least take Dragon. There is a pretty sizable creep wave up top, and Pantheon decides to ult in there. Not a bad choice, I'd say. His ult really isn't as effective as it used to be. So just jumping in there, picking up that CS, always a good call. Now up to 122, which is 52 ahead of actually his lane partner there. 38 and 21, so actually 59 coming in there. We've got a little bit of action coming in here. Middle lane tower did get picked off for us. Really unfortunate there, but I do want to go back to the comparison here. We've got now 39, even though it's the later stages of the game. Basically, collectively, you've got 64 collectively on the Renekton and Maokai on CS, and comparatively to, I've got 68 alone and 63 on the Karma. So we've basically doubled. We have actually doubled their CS, so you can see it's a pretty effective lane combination, and it's pretty effective for denying CS as well. We've got a little bit of a freeze here. Just going to mark that off. And I don't think actually anything special is happening here. Actually, there is something happening there. It looks like Sona gets picked off somehow in the midst of that couple of second freeze. We've got Sona getting picked off, but it looks like actually Karma's going to be forced to flash away here. I think that Renekton's probably going to be able to pick off the... No, with the Guardian Angel going down, though, I don't know if Karma's going to be able to stay in this fight here. It looks like a pop-up there. Really nice pop-up, and then the jump from the Pantheon, able to pick that up. Caitlyn's going to have to run away there. So trading the Renekton, or sorry, the Nocturne and for the Sona, and I think that was definitely in our favor, especially considering that the Nocturne had a Guardian Angel that we had to peel through first. So not too shabby. And it looks like, yeah, now going with the Sheen on Sona, which is a high DPS build. And you can see the Tenacity also, and you've got the Berserker's Greaves. No Magic Mantle, I don't know what that's going to be turned into, but something or other. Karma outputting a lot of damage there. You've got the Rabadon's Death Cap on her. I've got the Rabadon's as well. Lucidity, Doran's Ring, just craziness going down there. So we've got a lot of damage output there. It looks like actually our Alistar's going to jump in there, and is he going to get the kill? No, it looks like a flash away from Caitlyn there, and a lot of tower damage going off there on the Karma. I think Karma was a little bit low to start, and just now popping his ultimate there. I think that was a A little bit crazy, but it looks like the Nocturne jumping in there, getting the fear off on me. It looks like I'm going to get picked off pretty quickly. Silence going down there. I'm not going to be able to heal myself. Blue buff now getting traded over to Garen as well in the midst of all that. It looks like the fear not going off on the Sona, but the Alistar is going to get picked off there. Unfortunately, Pantheon in the midst of all that was top, although I don't think he's necessarily got the items that he needs. Getting the jump off, though, he is going to jump down below, but I think he might be able to be picked off here. Maokai, Garen, as well as Nocturne jumping all over this Pantheon. Pantheon luckily had enough health to get away from that. Now has a fully farmed Bloodthirsters. Hopefully he's able to maintain that and not get picked off there, but we'll see. Here comes the big push from the enemy team. I think, again, that this is probably in their best, in their favor to not go for this tower and instead go for Baron, but that's their prerogative, and they decide to go for it. Another freeze here. And again, I do apologize, guys. I may be your all-knowing gamer, but I'm not your all-knowing programmer. I do not know how to make my own replay system, and if this is, again, one of your first videos, I have to mention this every time I do a commentary. If you notice a freeze like that, that's actually the replay viewer mixing with Fraps in a terrible way, and they basically just need to upgrade their replay viewer, but it's a third-party programmer, and they do it for free, so I'm not going to complain. It's a phenomenal system, and that's just the way it goes. It looks like 2 of the 3 healers in this lane are able to hit those traps with absolutely no, basically no penalty other than revealing where they were. And it looks like actually we're a little bit worried about where Baron is, or where they stand with Baron. I don't know if they're actually going to be picking this up or not. Looks like with Maokai in middle lane, they're probably not. But Maokai, of course, as support could just be a distraction. That's exactly what supports like to do. That's one of the things that they like to do anyways. Looks like Nocturne's going to be ulting in here. Unfortunately, I can't see exactly what's going on here, but I assume Nocturne getting an ultimate off on somebody. No, nobody, just getting an ultimate off. Not sure exactly why he did that. Maybe potentially to hide himself at Dragon. I have absolutely no idea why he would have done that, but regardless, that's what he does, and there he goes, and he's nowhere to be found even still. Oh, wait, there he is down at bottom lane, but trying to pick off that bottom turret, still not happening for him. I assume that turret's lower than what it actually shows. We got some damage there coming off on Maokai, or some healing coming off on Maokai, and once I start talking about Maokai healing himself, I've got to start speeding things along because nothing's really happening right now. It looks like 2 characters mid just disappeared, and it looks like they're not going to be going for Baron, though. We're gonna start this push down at bottom lane here, though. We've got all 5 characters. With Renekton down here, I don't think we're going to be too worried about them getting Baron right now. We're going to start moving around here, and it looks like actually Caitlyn's going to get caught up in all of this. Definitely was going to die to something there, but got into the bush. Regardless, it's at least saved herself a little bit of time alive. And looks like actually the Sona ultimate there, a little bit sloppy there. I don't think that was the right time to do it, but flashing in there a couple of characters, and nice ultimate there from the Alistar, taking that tower shots, and of course we've got a freeze in the midst of all this action. I can only assume that the Garen as well as the Renekton are going to get picked off here. We just got to wait and see. There it is. Yeah, the Renekton does get picked off there as well as the tower, and Renekton, Maokai, no, actually Garen doesn't get picked off though. Renekton, Maokai, Caitlyn are down now as well as an inhibitor. We're going to continue this push here. We've got no other towers down to the inhibitor tower though, so we're just going to have to continue this push down, and it looks like we just snaked our way along bottom there, and unfortunately for the enemy team, their Nocturne is not doing the right thing here, and is making that push when he really shouldn't be. We've got 5 enemy champions in the base. He really should be focusing on defending right now. It looks like, though, Pantheon is in a little bit of trouble here, though. With all these heals coming out, he's not going to be in much trouble for very long. Pantheon, though, going pretty low here. More heals, though, coming out. One there from Karma, one there from Sona as well, and it looks like actually all these champions are going to go down here. Renekton, Caitlyn, Nocturne's going to continue to push mid there, though. No, he is going to back here. He's got his Guardian Angel up as well, but by the time he gets back, the game will be done. There goes the Nexus, so pretty crazy game there. I hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, there's Trollolo, and I'm telling you guys, I know I named Trollolo that last video, and that's what Dan did named it, but I don't know the Sona. Just absolutely crazy game. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and possibly if you guys if you're getting frustrated with losses, just play a game like this, and trust me, it'll make you feel a little bit better, make you think that the game's just not as competitive as people make it out to be, but I still think it is, but regardless, it's a lot of fun anyway. So GG guys, Frank, your all-knowing gamer, signing off. Until next time.